All right, this is the store tour you guys have been asking for. I promised it. Here it is. We're gonna show you Nerd Nation. We have been in the space for, this is starting week 4, and I figured it was time to show you all the first store tour because we're about to change a whole bunch of stuff, so I wanted to get kind of that first look. So, over here, we'll come over here. Right as you come in, we have Nintendo Powers. These have been absolutely killing it. We have refilled this many, many times, and we have some more in the back. It's been crazy to see how many people are coming in, immediately looking at this and grabbing 2, 3, 4, sometimes 6 Nintendo Powers. Next, we have our beautiful Kmart kiosk. It is up and running. We got a demo disc going in here for GameCube. We have a jam pack in here for PS2. And Xbox isn't running yet. Funny enough, it's the only one where the reset button actually works, but it's not set up. I think I'm probably just gonna bring my Mountain Dew Xbox, throw it in there, and get some kind of demo going. So then we have the game walls. The way we laid it out is we have PlayStation, Xbox, other, because it's Sega, Atari, and then back there is Nintendo. We will show you all that, but behind Justin, the cameraman, we have our display cases. Also see our nice Mario Day standee. I think we got this from a GameStop or someone on Facebook, but he got it from GameStop. But Nintendo is pretty much always going to be our best seller. So we have our very first case, Nintendo. And this is something that's probably going to change. I think this will stay Nintendo, but Nintendo is like overfilling our display cases, so we got to find a better way to display this stuff, and that's going to be one of the big changes we start working towards, but that's for a later video. We put Switch here. We know people are looking for Switch. Surprisingly, has not really sold well for us. I know our Switch selection is not the best, but I don't know that I've seen much Switch sell, and I will go over some of the more interesting sellers because it's been really interesting to see what has sold really, really well. But so we got some Game Boy Advance, random Wii game. It's probably because it's an expensive Wii game, and then some more DS and GBA. In the first one, we have, this is our PlayStation display case, and this is kind of where you're gonna start seeing some of the pain points. So like right here, we have games taking up an entire shelf. I think we need to get stands to like angle them so we can get multiple in there. And then I think we might start taking controllers out of here. We have some really awesome stuff in here. Tenkaichi 3, Trapped, Painkiller, really good stuff. And honestly, our cases, they're full. So that's why we're gonna have to start rearranging some stuff. Next, we have the second Nintendo display case, and you can see it is full. It is very full. Boxes are spine out because there's just not a good way for us to display them. We got 007, Shadow Man, Wipeout, Tony Hawk 2, bunch of NES games, Burger Time. There's a Xena. I think the Xena is like $200, $300.
Get a load of this guy.
You can see there's a lot of rearranging that needs to happen. I think also working with the employees to understand, like, let's make sure the better games are showing and we can put the spine out on some of the cheaper games like Top Gear. So nice selection of Virtual Boy. Honestly, this is really good. We don't have a ton of cartridge only in there, but we do have quite a bit on the shelf. It could be better, but we got it. And then I haven't really called attention to this, but this is where we're putting most of our consoles. This isn't really going to change too much. This is still going to be the plan, but we have a bunch of consoles in one of our other display cases. And I think the plan is just to bring it over here. We've been trying to highlight kind of Nintendo over here because that's going to always be our #1 console seller. So then over here, it's mostly Xbox and PlayStation and apparently MechWarrior for some reason. This is the one thing, like being a business owner, is like I have to entrust other people to do things, and then I see things like that and I'm like, why did we do this? It's not that big of a deal. I just probably want to put there. I would probably put it up there with Miscellaneous. This is supposed to be the Xbox case, but as you might know, Xbox does not have a lot of expensive games. Oh, funny enough, it looks like we might have actually sold one. But, you know, the Def Jams, the Deadpools, sealed, you know, older sealed games are going to have value. And then I think the plan was to make this a little bit of Miscellaneous, but then this case over here is supposed to be Miscellaneous. So as we reshuffle things, this is probably going to become Nintendo, everything else, and maybe PlayStation there, or I don't know. We do have quite a bit of PlayStation, so who knows what this is gonna look like. But we do have some really awesome stuff. I also wanna highlight that. I don't know if there's anything I want, well, I mean, they're loose discs, but we have Ray Earth, Albert Odyssey, Bomberman, Steel Jaguar, we have 32X, we have Turbo Graphics, a lot of cool stuff. And I think our console selection is decent. There's more in the case, you guys will see that in a bit. I do want to kind of quickly talk about this a little bit. Again, this is like, let's see, it's supposed to be in the case. That's okay, we're learning. Not everyone knows these things. You can see there's still a lot of space to be filled. We have this nice God of War kiosk. It's apparently custom, but people really like it. But I think figuring out a way to actually utilize this is gonna be a big thing going forward, because right now, if nothing else, it's just taking up a lot of space. So either we need to fill it with stuff, put stuff out on display. It does light up as well. There's space above the shelves that we could probably get another row. I don't want people to have to reach too hard, which I will say that this is still very reachable. I'm not tall. I mean, I'm only 6'8". I still think I want to cater to the 5'10" boys and the people shorter than that. Justin's shaking his head. You know, there's still a lot of space. We try and make sure the shelves look pretty full. And you can see, like, our PS2 selection, it's full. This is inside baseball for people that don't own stores. But when games are face out like this, you can see our PS5 selection is horrid. But when games are not faced out, when they're spined out, that means their selection is full. So then if you come over here, our Xbox selection, you know, we have faced out games. So that means there's still a lot of shelf space. Lots of room to improve. This is our miscellaneous section. So we got our nice little selection of Atari down there. Oh, we have Intellivision games. Big bangers, those are Atari, and then it's mostly just Sega. We do actually have Saturn games. They are mostly sports, and then a few Sega CD as well. We have Dreamcast. I would love to get more Dreamcast. I used to buy Dreamcast pretty regularly, but I just don't see it as much anymore. We're going to a con soon, so hopefully we can fill this out a little bit more. And then our Genesis selection, it's not crazy good, but I would say it's a lot. We have quite a bit. And then we start to go over to Nintendo. And so this is something else that I have recently, as I've walked around the store, people can mostly just see the price tag. This is something else we can improve on. Like, I can see the price, but I would not have known that that's a Hot Wheels game. So then we have our Nintendo kiosk, not really being utilized, but I'm also afraid to put stuff in the bottom. I think people are gonna overlook it if we put it in there. So we have N64, Super, DS, NES. NES has sold really well for us. I did not really expect that. By the first couple of weeks of being open, we'd have people come in, buy like 10, 15 games, which has been really cool. DS, small 3DS selection. And this is our Switch section. Plan is to grow that. We had a really, really cool trade-in last week. I don't know why this PC game is there, but we had a bunch of games traded in yesterday so that this can now be filled out a little bit more. And then something that we are doing, I saw Double Jump does this and I think they do a good job with it. And I'm trying to do the best we can. So we do print reproduction artworks, but we print, and it says reprinted artwork on there so that no one is confused. But we make sure that I'm making sure that people understand when they're looking at these games, that they know that this is not the original artwork. If I see that they have like a fan-made artwork, that's what I go with. So like this is the Harry Potter collection, but this is printed on the artwork so no one is confused when they buy this. GameCube is also like that as well. The way we price it, same with the Switch, any of the games that we reprint the artwork for, we're basically just charging like $1 or $2 over a loose disc. Mostly because it takes time to reprint the artwork, costs ink, paper, all of that. But we're just slightly above what a loose disc would go for. And then our Wii selection is pretty good right now as well. You can see it's pretty full. And then we have some Wii U done here. We have some decent games in there, but it could be better. And then this is something that I'm really proud of. This is something I think a lot of people have really gotten behind with the store, is these are our vendor cases. These are other vendors, other sellers selling in our store. Basically, each case is someone that has rented out a case in the store. They fill it with whatever they want. They can put games, controllers. They need to guarantee that they work. Handhelds are allowed. There's a few random stipulations, like games need to be more than $10 because we have a lot of games on our shelves under 10, so they'd be pretty heavily competing with us. But then the more expensive stuff, there's not going to be a lot of overlap, so we're okay. Us both having expensive games. You come over, you find a game you want. Say you want Super Mario All-Stars. You would let someone up front know that you want it. They will come over with a key, unlock it. The employee will grab it out of the case, let you look at it, and you can decide if you want it. And then you either just Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, Chime them directly for the item. We will take a picture of it, send it to the vendor so that they know it's sold. Vendors are happy. It creates reoccurring revenue for us, which is really awesome. And it supports the local reseller video game community here. So a lot of really good, awesome people. You know, this is a guy from Texas, guy from Oklahoma. Local guy, one of the Chicago boys, Dave, his case. But it also allows for quite the variety. You see we have 3D printed stuff in here, flesh and blood, sleeves, Pokemon, ornaments. If we just use all of this, we could have put this kind of stuff in here, but that would take a lot more inventory, and this allows us to try and keep the store a little bit more lean. And then behind Justin, this is kind of like all of our accessories. This is something else I want to do a better job of. We have a lot more accessories we could put out. So finding a good spot for this, because this is pretty full. You know, there's some empty spots, but I also don't want to overload this. So anywhere that we have space on the shelves, maybe that's where they're going to start going. But I love all the stuff from XYAB. I think the way they do their N64 controllers, they're beautiful. I wish their boxes for GameCube were the same because I love these boxes and I do think they do a really good job with their GameCube. And then just some other miscellaneous stuff. We try to have cables for all your controllers and consoles, replacement batteries, things like that. And then over here, this is our big display case. I think we could utilize this a lot better. I think that's one of my big plans. So right now we have a lot of consoles in here, and I think we could take most of them out, or even just the handhelds. Handhelds can go on the display case, get some of these nicer consoles into either the wall or maybe the display case up there. We have a couple of box systems up here. We have Odyssey, the Action Set, and a Vectrex. This gets a lot of attention, especially as people are checking out. And I think this would be a better place to put some of our box games. So like you can't even tell that we have a Super Metroid or an Oscar CIB back there, which total value is like $700. I think getting some tiered shelves would help a lot with this. All right, so then over here, this is checkout. This is nothing crazy. I think I've shown a picture of this. I have an idea of what I want this to look like. Something that was in like a mall to like show off the NES, and the goal is to make it look like that. But we just have to touch up some of this. I did finally get the Nintendo on there. We'll have slot wall back there with N64 controllers and our sign. It'll look beautiful. Over here, we have our drinks. I try to make sure that we have quite the variety of drinks, not stuff that you see everywhere. But like, I try to get the more unique flavors or like unique cans. Blackberry, Dr. Pepper, the old school Pepsi, you know, things like that. And then on this side of the store, this is our TCG side. So I think going with a TCG and video game style store has like really paid off. It's funny, I saw a sign, it was on one of Rick's videos that said, trade your video games for cards and then trade your cards for video games. That's happened a few times in the store already. They trade it in and then they buy stuff on the other side of the store. So singles, this is our singles case. We're working to get tiered stuff. We have a $1,600 card, a $700 card, $500, $300, $1,200, like awesome cards in the case. And almost every card in the case has just walked in. In here, I think there's 2 cards that are mine. They are 2 of them more expensive. I want them to be in the store if someone does decide that they want to buy the card. We have it, but besides that, we just have awesome cards. So this is gonna be where most of our sealed stuff is. We're very heavy on Pokemon. The channel started with Pokemon, and I know it. I love it. It's been great. People have been really excited to see how much sealed product we actually have, and we're constantly putting out more and more stuff. Pokemon's really hard to get right now. All of this stuff is from my sealed collection pretty much. So it's either I bought from stores or online or something like that. So this isn't coming from distributors. So I can't charge oh, I got it from a distributor for $100, so I'll just charge the MSRP. I can't charge MSRP because I paid MSRP. As we grow with distributors, I hope that changes. I like to give people better deals, but we do just charge market on it. We don't charge over market unless we just priced it wrong, which does happen. Sealed stuff is beautiful. A lot of really, really good stuff. Some of the stuff you're not going to see anywhere else. Pokemon Center, Pokemon Center, Pokemon Center, Building Battles. It's stuff that we have because I collected it. Back here, we have some single packs that people can buy. We have some in the cases as well, but those are like just regular packs. Semi-rigid sleeves, other nice boxes that people can buy. And then we have even more just throughout this whole section. But one thing you might see is we have a $2.99, $4.99, $5.99, and $8.99 binder. Those have been great as more and more singles have come in the store. We've run out of places to put them in the display case. So now we pull those out. Someone wants to look at them, we let them look at them here or at the register. The plan is to also have a $10 to $20 binder. People have to look at that at the register if they want to see it. But it's been great. We just color coordinate the sleeves to the binder. And then whenever someone checks out, we just say 5 blue sleeves. It's been great. So then we're also not having to look up every single card or print a label for every single card. We have a little bit of Japanese in here, and then we do have a very, very small selection of Lorcana. The graded cards and this first set box, those got traded in. And then Azurite C, I don't know Lorcana very much. It's on the glass that we have Lorcana, but I just don't know it. It's more other people that work here that know it. This is our plush selection. I just put out a whole bunch, and then we sold like 12 of them yesterday. So I'm just gonna have to put more out. People have been loving this. It's pretty much all Pokemon with a few exceptions. You know, we have some other stuff. I stole this from Rick, but basically they just tag it with a Pokemon card and slap their price on it. But people have been eating this up. I think we have a pretty good selection, and we try to have some of the more uncommon stuff. Not everyone is gonna have a Galarian Articuno. This is crazy. I think this one is a little bit pricier. That's kind of cool. It's like 30 bucks, but it's because it was more expensive. It's very detailed. Plush is like our number 8 bestseller in the store. And that's after Pokemon sealed, Pokemon cards, NES, like stuff that I knew would do well, but this is done really, really well in the store. Over here, we have more vendor cases. So we are setting up our final one to go here. We have some plans. I have some envisioned plans to potentially change this out a little bit, but I wanted to get this case in. And then this whole section may be changing a little bit. This is our vendor hall sign. Should probably put that so it's more visible. I did not show it, but we do have tables for people to trade or open packs or battle or duel or whatever. These haven't seen a ton of action, but I've seen a lot of people just sitting here when they're working on trades or something like that. So we will definitely keep them. I would like to potentially do some tournaments in the store, but we just have to get to that. So whatever we do, I would like to set it up so that we still have the ability. I think we definitely have the floor space. The store is very open, and that's something I've always wanted. I don't want this to feel crowded. I think we will still have space with what I would like to do with this area, but that will be for a future video. I said we have more vendor cases over here. This is supposed to be more TCG, miscellaneous, nostalgia. You can see we have like this case. This is Vandicrafts. They do D&D dice, all homemade, handmade. They also do some earrings, things like that. Really cool stuff. I'm not a D&D person, but the dice do look awesome. This one's kind of like a miscellaneous case because they have a little bit of everything. They have figures, they have cards, they have video games, they have controllers, toys, like they have a little bit of everything. Vendors that sell singles, and this case has been doing really well. They just got set up. This is one final case I'll show off. So this is kind of our catch-all. So we have Digimon, whatever that TCG is, Magic, more Digimon, a small amount of sports. I would like to get more. And then we're starting to add pegs onto these. So like we have a few figures. We're not a toy store. Don't bring us toys. I will send you to somewhere else local. But we will still have some stuff that just comes in on trades. Some of that stuff may also just go to eBay. This is stuff that I actually just bought like a couple years ago and still just had. This is a section that a lot of people have really liked. This is our clearance game section. So we buy a lot of games. So sometimes the artwork looks like this, artwork looks like this, and then let me find like a crazy example. So like those were really bad, but this one, it's got a crease, I guess. So it looks pretty good, but it's stuff that just like cosmetically doesn't look that bad. Or like this is another one. One of my employees just covered the GameStop stickers with a white label because all of our games are clean. All of our games are resurfaced. Cases should be clean. If you find dirty games, let me know because I would like to clean them. But they should all be clean in the store, but people have really liked this. So basically all of the games here should be about 30% off price starting. Hopefully we don't lose too much money on these, but I want people to be able to get good deals and I don't want people to get bad games on our normal shelves. So people have really liked these. These are just kind of the overflow. Part of the reason for that is because I also hoarded them. Any of our bad condition games or games not worth selling on Amazon, I hoarded them for a while and now they are here. We have some strategy guides and then this is like our overflow of Nintendo Powers. Again, Nintendo Powers have been killing it in the store. Love that. Guides have been doing really well. Nintendo Powers are just totally killing it. VHS, it looks like we're selling them, which is awesome. We don't really buy them, so please don't bring them in. And then over here, we have a little bit of additional sealed, other TCGs, and just kind of miscellaneous stuff. We also have some Blu-rays, top loaders, things like that. And then finally, we have our trade-in counter. We have our YouTube video going in the background, just as kind of like a fun thing. But this is our trade-in counter. This is where typically a manager is sitting all day because our trade-ins have been crazy. Yesterday we had 13. Was not prepared for that. That's pretty much the store tour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and we will probably come back and look at this video again because the store is going to continually change quite a bit. Like we don't have decoration. That's like a big thing. Like we're gonna put some shelves here. So thanks for watching. Peace.